Hey everyone. Thanks again for joining us at our last meeting of the year. I was just thinking that I wish we could have had a crystal ball and seen how successful this year was at our first meeting when we were all like white knuckling all the time. So thanks to Carrie, thanks to Debbie, thanks to all the committee volunteers, all the parents. I think this has really turned out to be a successful year amidst crazy circumstances. So just start out by saying thank you, thank you, thank you, and congratulations on making it so successful.
Yes, I second all that.
Let's just quickly say who's here. Again, I'm Anne. My daughter Wiley is in the Dolphins.
I'm Kate. My daughter Lucy is in the Whales and Ben is in the Owls.
I'm Katie and my son James is in Honeybees.
I'm Kim. I've got Oliver in the Bunnies and Annabelle in the Owls.
I'm Elizabeth. I've got Jackson and the Owls and Callie and the Dolphins.
I'm Tara. I have Luke as a panda.
I'm Whitney. I've got Ren as a panda too.
Hi, Susan Bergathon here. I have Jules, who is a a polar bear and a brown bear, and I have Ridley, who is an owl.
I'm Julia, and my daughter Maya is set to start in the fall, so I haven't been on any of these meetings before, but
welcome.
And Maya was in the land bunnies for about a month back in 2018 or 19, 18. A blur.
Welcome back.
I'm Lindsay. My daughter Eliana is in Dolphins and my daughter Olivia is in Honeybees. And I have zit cream on my face right now.
We can't see it.
Just don't judge me.
Hi, I'm Claire. I have Bates in the Pandas class.
I'm Anna. I have Jordan, who also is a panda, and then Parker is a brown bear.
And I'm Debbie. I have Joshua, who is a dolphin.
Hi, I'm Denise. We have Victor and Logan in Wales.
Just might as well go. Yeah, Dan. Yeah, Amaya's in the Bears.
Is there anybody
Hi
else?
guys. Sorry, I'm walking around CVS, so I won't turn my camera on. But this is Lauren Pernia. I have JD in the Pandas and Andrew in the Bunnies.
You don't have to put anybody else on the spot if nobody else, like we've also learned a little bit of Zoom etiquette in the last year, right? Like everybody doesn't have to be on video. Everybody doesn't have to talk, right? But welcome everybody who's here. And if somebody wants to speak later, just pipe in. We're not formal. Okay, well, thank you so much. I'll kind of get to the point unless Kate, do you have anything else to say as far as like introduction or anything?
I don't think so.
Okay. One thing we just kind of wanted to go through kind of a update on each of the major committees and say kind of what our status is and plans are for the next year and where there's a need for volunteering. And as most of the parents probably know, there's going to be a ton of opportunities to volunteer as both a committee chair or as a committee member, or you can volunteer in multiple committees. That's fantastic as well. Next year, we'll be getting more back on track to having a normal calendar year, normal schedule, normal events. So as we go through these kind of individually, we'll just touch on them. And I thought that if one of them sounds good and sounds like it fits your interest and your skill set, you can either shoot us, like Kate and me, a note in the chat, in the Zoom chat, and say, hey, I'm interested in being chair for this, if you want to, or before the meeting's over, we can put our personal emails on there and you can let us know if there's interest. But I think that the book fair and family day committee chairs are covered by sort of our volunteers who agreed to chair those two committees last year, which will be super exciting. And just as far as thinking ahead, I think Carrie mentioned it, probably early in the semester in the fall, we're going to combine the book fair and the family day to make it just in-person get together, knock on wood, where everybody can come together just to get to know each other and for fun. So I think those chairs are covered. Thank you very much, Jennifer Schweidel and Lauren Kernia. But there'll obviously be volunteer opportunities there. There are several committees in which we need a co-chair. This is a great way to get involved if you're not as familiar, if you have a younger child at Glenn and you're wanting to kind of get into the volunteering roles. The first of which, auction, and this brings me to a bittersweet point that Kate has chaired not only parent council but also the auction, and we will sadly not have her next fall, and it makes me sad on a personal level too, because I love her. But on a good note, Kim Steiner has agreed to serve as co-chair, but definitely needs a strong co-chair to try to fill Kate's shoes as well. So if you're interested in co-chairing the auction committee, shoot us a note. And big shout out to Kim.
I'm happy to answer any questions about what that entails, or if you're not sure, please let me know and I can talk about it a little bit more.
And just so folks know, we think that probably the auction will be a spring event. So there'll be lots of time at the beginning of the year to get onboarded and to kind of figure that out. But we'll probably be doing that in the spring and in person. And so it'll be a wonderful, fun in-person event. And Kate Kaufman gets to come as my guest.
Yes.
Once you're a chair, you have to come to every auction from now on. So
that's fair enough. Fair enough.
That is fair.
And
we'll make Polly come too.
Yes. Okay, so I started out with two big heavy hitters. Also the Glenn sale, which Anna Mitchum has graciously agreed to help us with again. And I just want to give a big shout out just briefly to Anna, Sarah Posiak, Kim Perrins, and all of the computer committee that helped this sale not only like pivot, but basically be reinvented and be totally successful. And then we're going to pivot again, I guess, in the fall, and I won't say too much about it. Anybody's welcome to jump in who knows more about it than I do, but I do think that the Glenn sale is going to be in the fall and in person. And I can personally say that there's amazing people already at the helm who are super organized and super efficient. So Anna, you're welcome to jump in, but after talking to you, it sounds like you need help with the computer chair and then maybe a couple co-chairs to handle specific tasks within the Glenn sale umbrella. So if anybody feels called to say that, to join.
Yeah, I'll say just a little bit. Well, first of all, just huge thank you to everybody in general who was able to volunteer, and everyone who was on committee and went above and beyond just to make it successful. People are recognizing me, but there's so many people that are flying under the radar that need the recognition. And I'm just very grateful for everyone who just helped make it successful. Brief update. So I think we don't have final numbers, but we made around 11 to 12,000 with the virtual sale. To put that in perspective, traditional sale last time made 18,000. They told us to expect to only make half of norm, or up to half, like anywhere from like $6,000 to $9,000. So we did exceed expectations, but looking at some surveys we did and knowing how much of a crazy workload it was put on volunteers and committee, we just need to go back to in-person. I think the energy will be kind of higher to do that too. And so that's why we are going back to traditional in-person, and based on like auction timing and what we think will be best for a successful sale, we are going to be crazy enough to plan for a fall one. That being said, would love to have a couple co-chairs. That does not mean that you're at every single shift. It's hopefully to help me so I don't have to be at every single shift and kind of delegate different responsibilities and share the workload a little bit. But we also specifically do need what Anne mentioned, help with computer / like checkout situation. Tara Sears, who's on this meeting, has been in the past our finance person, but we constantly need people that are going to be able to fill the spot to keep like the Glen sale going. And so as kids age out, sadly, of Glen School, we need other people to fill it in. And then just trying to build the committee, because the bigger the committee, the less of like a heavy workload we have on just like a few people. But yeah, so right now we're just kind of tentatively planning, and we'll share more information as we get it.
Thanks, Anna. And thanks for taking that on twice in the same calendar year. That's impressive. Okay, Transportation City. Elizabeth Small and Kelly Grandish have agreed to co-chair it, but they've also asked that hopefully a parent of a younger child, kind of following up with what Anna said, just in the interest of continuity and passing the torch, they're hoping that a parent of a younger child could maybe be the third chair with them. So they could kind of learn the ropes, and they can pass off those responsibilities to that person the next year. And hopefully everybody kind of has an idea about what each of these activities are. If not, just feel free to pipe in and interrupt me, and we can, I can give you a summary. Kate could, Elizabeth could. So that's one. And then there's
Anne, can I interject one thing? Barb Ribner, who's our sub extraordinaire at the school, her husband's gonna redo the post office and do it in wood and hinged and everything. So we'll have a new post office, and then my husband's going to do a new pizzeria. The cardboard ones were a little hard to get to stay up this year. And so we'll be working on those over the summer. We're also going to be redoing the storage room down there. So we'll have it really well organized. So it'll make it a lot easier to get in and out of there and get things in and out and see what we need. So the event was awesome. That was the only time we were allowed to have parents in the building. And so, or at least in the school building, we did have volunteers at the YAB for the Glen sale. So yeah, we're just going to try and update some of the stuff that we have for the Transportation City. And I think it will make setup a little bit easier, because it did take us about 2 hours to get one of those things to stand up yet this year. So, but we're working on that.
That sounds great. Thank you. Okay, so several committees need chairs. One of which is the room parent committee, and this person is kind of integral for all the events throughout the year. They're sort of the liaison between what the other committee chairs need and how to kind of disseminate that information, how to engage with parents on another level. And Heather Pinkerton is the current room parent chair, and I'm sure that she would be super helpful and a great resource. And I would urge you, if you do feel interested in one of these chairs, to reach out to Kate or me sooner than later. That way we can pair you up with these parents who are going to be leaving after May. That way they can kind of give you a firsthand account of what's involved with these particular positions and give some good kind of knowledge transfer there. Another one is teacher appreciation. And big shout out to Claire Henwood, who totally pivoted and reinvented this one and didn't ever seem stressed out. I don't know if you were. You tricked me if you were. But she, I'm sure, will leave the incoming chair in really good shape and with good examples of what to do for both the holiday brunch or luncheon for the teachers, as well as Teacher Appreciation Week. So I know we had a big committee for the Teacher Appreciation volunteers as well. So maybe if someone with some experience there is interested in filling Claire's shoes, that would be great too.
Yeah, and I can always email if you don't get any immediate responses, I can email to ask. It's a pretty active group of parents that volunteer, and a lot of people that do it year after year. So there might be some options there, but I'm happy to sit down with anybody and do like a briefing about what to do. It's not hard. It's fun. Just a couple of weeks of a lot of stuff, and then that's it.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you, Claire. Okay, and last but not least are the new co-chairs for the parent council. So I think what we kind of mentioned was it would be great to have one parent who's been here a few years to serve as a one-year term, who's kind of familiar with the way the school year has worked on sorry to keep going back to it, but like regular basis. And then maybe also, again, another parent of a younger child who's going to be here and kind of engage, parents who are peers of their child as well, and represent that new wave that we need to sort of integrate in. So if anybody's interested, Kate or I can, tell you what all is involved with that. It's really, for me, been a great chance to understand more what goes into every event throughout the year and stay connected. And I've really enjoyed it. Kate, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, I agree. It's a really nice way to stay connected. And I feel like Ann did most of the work. I didn't think it was too time consuming, probably because Ann did most of the work. But I think it's a fun way to be involved. And you can kind of dip your toe in everything without kind of putting all your time towards one specific event. So if you're not really sure, if you want to be involved, but maybe don't want to commit fully to, say, the auction or the Glen sale or something, this is a good way to kind of be very involved, but spread yourself out a little bit more. So.
And I just want to add that parent council chairs, besides coordinating the meetings, they are also invited to go to the school board meetings. And so you really do get a sense of kind of the inner workings of kind of the school and how everything kind of runs and goes. We have an incredible board, super supportive. And this year, obviously, everything's been virtual, but, sometimes you guys would be able to come, sometimes you wouldn't. So it is pretty low pressure as far as that end of it. And so really the meetings and just coordinating with me, you guys have been great about when I feel like we need to push out information in a different way. I can call Ann or Kate and say, hey, could you remind folks through the parent council that we're doing A, B, or C. And so it's really helpful for me. And these meetings are nice, and we used to do them in person, and hopefully we will next year. But we may end up having some combination of in-person and virtual so that more people can participate. So we'll be talking about how to do that next year.
Agreed. Yeah, and Kate, it probably only seems that way because again, you were like co-chairing the auction, which was so much more work. Yes. But yeah, I would agree totally with Kate. This is a good way of like staying involved consistently throughout the year versus having a really high demand on you for an acute amount of time, like some of the individual committees. So anybody who is interested in any of those positions we talked about, yeah, please, I'm gonna, when Carrie is talking in a minute in chat, I'll send my personal email to everybody on the call, and y'all are welcome to email me, even if it's just questions. I mean, it's no pressure, obviously, but I think that was mainly what we wanted to go over. Carrie, I know you wanted to talk about enrollment and OWL graduation and retirement and some other things. So I'll turn it over.
Yeah, I just have a couple of things. The other thing is that if folks want to be able to reach out directly to me and ask me some questions too, I think I've been here long enough, I can answer some of those questions. And I will definitely, we're recording this. Hopefully more parents will get a chance to see it. And then we have a lot of new families coming in next year. And so we're going to be reaching out to those families and encouraging them to get involved as well. The nice thing is that if you have a chairperson and then somebody who is shadowing that person so that you don't have to do all the work the first year, it's really nice to, see how it goes so that you can step in the next year and know how to do it and know what's going on. I sent out a message, it's been some time back now, that our kindergarten teachers are retiring. So I am going to be sending out some information to the entire school, but also to past kindergarten classes. We're trying to put a video together with video messages and pictures, and we're going to collect some money so that we can do like a travel fund to present to them, and then some other fun stuff that we have planned. And we're going to have our end of the year party and retirement celebration after carpool on, I think, the 18th or 19th of May. I think it's the 19th. And again, we're trying to maintain the numbers, but I'm going to do a lunch for the teachers, but it's going to be a box lunch that they can take with them, or people can spread out and do a picnic. I think I've already announced we've hired 2 new teachers, one of whom is known very well to many of us. She was here last year and had been here for many years before. And then the other teacher was my oldest child's kindergarten teacher and taught my other 2 of my other children in 3rd grade and 4th grade. And she's amazing. So I'm very sad about losing Debbie and Paula. I'm happy for them that they are ready to retire, and wish them all the best. But I'm super excited about what the future of that program holds. And could not have, I just couldn't be more happy with who we have stepping in. They're already meeting with the other teachers. They're meeting with each other. They're already planning for the school year. So I think it's going to be an exceptional year. Enrollment has gone really, really well. We're basically full in every class, except I have just got a couple spots open in 2-day 2s, and that's it. And in the 3 years that I've been here, we have not been in this good a position with regards to enrollment before. Beth went through and figured out who all has paid advanced tuition. I am going to reach out in the next few days to anybody who has not paid advanced tuition, who has not notified me that they're not coming back. But by middle of next week, I've got people on wait list, and I will start offering spots to other people. So if you're on this, if you're listening to this and you haven't paid advanced tuition and you want to come back, please reach out to me in the next few days and let me know what your plans are. If you need a little bit more time to pay it, but we know you're coming back, that's fine. I just need to kind of settle in and secure all the spots that I can right now. The only other thing is I've sent out an email, but we've had a lot of new things going on lately, and I'll send out another one at the end of this week and a couple of times next week. But we are, Latisse has put together the most amazing yearbook for this year. They are on sale. It's been a really unique and special year, and I think it's just going to be a really fun keepsake to look back because a lot of the pictures the kids are in masks. But the book is, for those that have never seen one, they look kind of like this. I don't know if you can see it, but each class has a page. And so there's pictures of each child, and then there's also pictures, more kind of casual pictures and pictures from all the events during the year. So we're going to try and have the orders in by the end of this year, by the end of April, I'm sorry, so we can get them ordered so I can give them to people before school ends this year. So again, we'll send out more information about that, but just wanted to remind folks that those are on sale now, and you can pay through the website or send a check in. And if you need to do something different, just reach out to me and we'll figure that out. And otherwise, I was talking to my sister the other day about what kind of year it has been. And I've been doing a million tours virtually. And I cannot tell you how grateful I am for everything the parents have done to make this year a success. There is no way this would have worked unless everybody was on the same page and everybody was being cautious and careful and doing the same thing. And I've talked to other schools and I think we've done it really well this year. It's been a challenging year, but it's a really rewarding year that we have made it through this year the way we have. And that the school is financially sound, we're doing well, and we're gonna have a great year next year, and hopefully things will be more normal next year for everybody. I am going to be spending the summer looking at kind of what's happening with regards to COVID, looking at the plan, seeing if there's any protocols that we're going to carry over into next year. I will be reaching out to parents and consulting with you guys about what you're comfortable with and what you're not comfortable with. I do think things are going to be looser. I anticipate that all teachers will be fully vaccinated when we come back. We're very close to having almost everybody vaccinated. And so, I think teachers are going to feel good about, more comfortable. They feel good now, but more comfortable being in the classroom. I expect that numbers will continue to come down, but I do anticipate that there might be some things that we want to carry over for a while to be cautious and careful until children can start being vaccinated. So, I've been driving my husband crazy all year, getting his advice on the plan, and I will continue to drive him crazy this summer to get advice so that we can have a plan going into the fall. I don't want to do one too early because I think things are changing so rapidly. And so I want to see where we really are before I make that plan for next year. So, I couldn't be happier and prouder of what all of us have done to make it through this year. And I was telling somebody on a tour today, I think for the kids, it's been a great year. It's been like every other year, except they've been wearing masks. And so I feel like we do the same activities. We're doing the same stuff. We've maintained almost all of our events, although altered. But I think it's been I think we're going to look back and think that this is really a tough year, but really a fun year in many, many ways. And so I can't thank everybody enough for everything that you've done. So thank you all.
Thank you, Carrie. That didn't just happen. So thank you for the leadership and the planning and the resilience. And thanks everyone else. Yes, I mean, I didn't hear one bad attitude from any parent either throughout this time. Nobody second guessing anything or, feeling like the rules didn't apply to them. So, I mean, big kudos to everybody.
Yeah. And it would have only taken a couple people not doing it to make this whole thing fall apart. So everybody did their part this year to make this happen. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, Carrie, you did an unbelievable job. I hope that you know that. And I think going into this, we didn't send our kids back to school right away. And I think the biggest thing for us was how do we wire them for resilience? And I think that you did an unbelievable job. And I hope that you're proud of yourself. I know all of us are, because it really, how we respond and how our children see our response to that stress was the most important thing to us. And so thank you.
Well, thank you. And I tell you, our teachers are phenomenal. I mean, they have really, done an incredible job. And so I was telling somebody, I did a tour, and I tell the same story every time. You all know we had a case right out of the gate. And I sent out the email because I promised we would be transparent. And within 10 minutes of that email, every single email was, is the family okay? Is there anything we can do for the family? And that's what Glenn is. I mean, everybody just is there for each other, and it's everybody. And one piece that was not doing the right thing could have toppled the whole school year. And so it took all of us to make this happen. So again, thank you all so much.
Does anybody have questions about any of the committees, anything about the tentative schedule for the next school year? Any questions, comments, anyone?
I will say one thing. We do have a lot of the dates for next school year on the website for the 2020, I said 2021. 2021-2022 school year. So we have our start dates. We have most of the dates that were closed for holidays and all of that. So that is on the website. We haven't put all the events in, so we'll continue to expand that as we lock in certain events. But for now, it's a pretty comprehensive calendar for next year. So folks asking when the start date is, when parent orientation, all that, it's already on there. And thank you, Debbie, because I couldn't have done that. So.
Kate, do you have anything else? I feel like we've hit some high points.
No, I think that's all great. Yeah, thank you to everybody. It was a great year.
Yeah.
Oh, no, actually, I have a question, Carrie. What's the deal with kindergarten graduation? Do we have any thoughts on in-person, virtual?
So tonight, the reopening task force at Glen Church is meeting, and I've already sent the proposal for what we're going to do. And I anticipate they're going to approve us being inside with a limit on the number of guests. So I think that it's going to be on the 25th, so the Tuesday before our last day. And we're probably 11 o'clock, and it will be somewhat pared down. We're probably not going to do food and things like that. But we have a good plan in place. And so I'm just waiting for the final thumbs up. And so we'll be reaching out to the kindergarten families, hopefully by the end of this week, early next week at the very latest. But we will be having some kind of celebration this year. Yeah.
Carrie, do you anticipate after school programming coming back next year?
Yes, I do. Yep. I think we're going to go back to lunch bunch. I think we're going to go back to after school activities. I don't know where we're going to be with mask wearing. I think we may carry over pods, but my hope is that we can expand the pods to age groups. I would really like for the 3-year-old classes to be able to overlap on the playground. And so I'm hoping we can expand our pods, but we're going to continue certain things that we've been doing, we'll continue to do. But I don't know right now what that looks like. But yes, I'm planning to invite those folks back. And we're planning to start lunch bunch in the fall. So, and we're going to plan that way. But we know if we have to pivot, we will. But I think we'll be able to do a more traditional year next year.
I don't know if anyone else is having trouble getting the yearbook, but every time I click on it from my phone or the computer, it says the page is not available. I don't know if I'm the only one.
Kim, you had that problem. Is that what yours said?
It did, and I actually just went and paid under the tuition page, but then I got an error message back after I inputted my information, but it
But it's
did go
weird, it went
through.
through. Yeah. So, Lindsay, send me an email what you did, and I think Debbie can maybe get in there and check tomorrow and see if it went through, and we'll see if we can figure out what the problem is tomorrow. And
I will not be able to. That's a Beth thing. Beth
We'll
has,
yeah,
we'll
we'll-
have to contact Beth with that.
I originally clicked on the link that was sent out, the email that you sent earlier this week or last week, Carrie, that was just about the yearbook. I clicked on that link and that goes to it doesn't go to the tuition page. It goes to an error.
Weird. Okay. Well, we can certainly send we'll send something out tomorrow with a different link. So
Yeah.
Debbie, will you help me remember to do
Yeah,
that?
that I can
will
help
solve
with
the problem.
the link. But yeah, we'll get in touch with Beth as far as the back end is concerned.
Okay. Yeah. We'll figure it out, guys. And I'll send something else out tomorrow, or it will definitely be in the newsletter on Friday, but I'll try and send something specifically to the yearbook that here's the correct link, and hopefully we can get folks to be able to order easily.
I don't have anything else. If there's nothing else, we can sign off and say goodnight unless there's more questions or comments.
And I hope everybody knows, if you're not comfortable asking a question here in the big group, email me, call me, whatever you need. Again, I'm happy to answer questions, or and again, as we start planning for next year, I'll be sending out lots of communication over the summer to let folks know what we're doing.
Okay, well, everybody have a good night, and thanks so much for all you've done this year and making it a great one.
Thank you all.
Bye.